Hi everybody, Clark Smith here, and welcome to the next episode of Gracious Living in the Time of Corona. I'm going to start a series now about cooking with a Philips air fryer. That's this guy right here. Now, I've been cooking all my life, and I have owned just about every gizmo you could possibly imagine. And now I find myself, after 60 years of all different ways of cooking, I find myself cooking almost everything I do with a Philips air fryer. And it's so easy, it's so great, and everything always comes out perfect. I'm just blown away. I learned about this gizmo from a book. Blue Ocean Strategy is about the idea of developing a new market that makes the competition irrelevant. So, for example, when Cirque du Soleil, they wanted to do a circus thing, but they didn't want to compete with Barnum and Bailey. So instead of a $12 ticket, bring all the kids, three-ring circus and a bunch of animals, they got rid of all of that stuff. And they said, no, it's just going to be for adults. Leave the kids at home, $75, and you get dinner. You'll have all of these wonderful magicians and contortionists, athletes, no elephants. So that's an example of a Blue Ocean strategy. Blue Ocean Shift is about how to go into a company and reinvent themselves. So Philips is a French company that's been making electrical appliances and cooking gear for about 150 years. And their deep fat fryer division was circling the bowl along with the whole industry. And the reason was that there are a lot of built-in pain points about a deep fat fryer. I mean, they're really big and they take a lot of energy, and you use 10 kilograms of oil for every kilogram of food that you cook, and then it gets rancid and it's hard to get rid of. And when you're around it, it's very dangerous. And the food is terrible for you. And I was just kind of, okay, that's just what we have to live with. And so they took 8 of the Philips executives, put them in the room, and said, okay, don't come out until you come up with something about which none of that is true. And this is what they came up with, the air fryer. And so it uses little or no oil. Everything always comes out perfectly. It's not dangerous. It's not heavy. There's nothing to throw away. And it cleans up in about 4 minutes. So I'll show you that at the end here. So anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to show you how to cook a steak. There's really nothing to it. There's only 2 things to adjust here. And this is the temperature, which I almost always do at 400. But because the steak has got a lot of fat on it, I'm going to turn that down so it doesn't smoke as much. So I'm taking it 375. And then I like my steaks rare to medium rare. So I'm going to just toss this thing in here for 12 minutes. And that's it. And then you'll see the result. There's really nothing else to do. Okay, so what you've got here is basically a convection oven. There's going to be hot air circulating. It's pushed down, and then these sort of fins here push it up to cook the underside of the food, so you don't have to flip anything. This is where the food goes. There's some accessories. There's a little pan that fits in there, or some kebab skewers and that sort of thing. For now, we're just going to do a steak. This grill here pops right out for easy cleaning, and that's really all there is to the whole thing. So let's go ahead and load it up with our steak. I'm going to take a little garlic salt here. I love this Lowry's garlic salt. It's just so delicious. So that I can salt the other side. Very lightly. And pop it in there. Now, you'll notice that this has a lot of marbling, a lot of fat. I'm on a ketogenic diet, and so I try to minimize my carbohydrates, and I eat all the fat that I can lay my hands on. So that's why I'm cooking it that way. It'll also have a lot more flavor. And so then I'm simply going to set this to 12 minutes. because that's the setting for rare to medium rare, which is the way I like a steak. And of course, if you wanted it well done, medium is about 15 minutes, and well done a little bit more. So you'll have to find out what your own time is. Has a little bit to do with how thick the steak is. You can see that was a nice thick steak. Okay, so there we go. That's 12 minutes. And let's take a look at what we got here. You see that? Is that not the most beautiful thing you ever saw? So let's check the doneness. Just take it out here and let's give it a cut. And there you are. That's exactly the way I like it. Red in the middle, so kind of medium rare to rare. So if you like it a little bit more done than that, then you would want to go a little bit longer. But to me, that's perfect steak. So now I want to show you how to clean this thing. The first thing is we've got all this wonderful juice in here. And so we'll just pop that right on top of there for flavor. And then we're gonna clean this thing. First thing we'll do is get some water in there. Just to start soaking that bottom. That's all we need. And then we just push down here, and the catch lifts right back out. Keep that, and then the inside here needs to have a little soap and water. Just like so. That's all you need. Leave that to dry. Next thing is to give a nice soap and water on both sides here. And I just rinse it right down the middle. And then that will go right back in. And then finally, we've got our base, and we've got a little water there, so we've got some soap on this sponge. Dry that out, and then I like to put distilled water. It keeps it from getting any scale buildup, and that so I'm going to rinse the water out basically with some distilled water that I have here, and then that means it will dry completely clean, and we are done. That's the whole thing. I'm going to leave it upside down here to drain a little bit, and then as soon as it's drained, I'll pop it right back in there and we'll be done.